Hi everyone. So today I'm making a recording of my game dev log journey. So I'm gonna go and tackle these two bugs here, dealing with the enemy not responding when to not making sure that they stop responding to when the player shoot and attack button is pressed, and making sure that they don't move when they're not supposed to. So here's how things are currently looking. And as you can see, it's still a work in progress, but those are the two problems that I'm trying to tackle. So looking at the code, recognizing that and re-verifying this is what I'm looking at, so I make sure I actually solve the problem. So from here, I go and looking at the code, I thought it was up at the top of the code, but turns out I actually want to be looking for the underscore input function. But just to help me with reminding myself of of what is happening, thanks via the comments. It had been quite a while since I've had the chance to finally get back to this project of mine. But I did see something of usefulness here, and that being the underscore AI in the if statement below. That is a Boolean variable that would let me know if this is the AI or the enemy that's controlling this character, or if it is the player. And that would prove to be very helpful in the if statement, in the input function. Okay, so it's in here that I will want to go and make my changes. So going through the if statements here, I see that, well, ignoring the first if statement, that's for a different character, but staying focused on things. That bottom section, that else statement there, is where the shot and tack controls our button inputs are handled. And a simple way to fix this was to add an if statement above all of that to verify if the AI is, if this input came from the AI enemy. And add a comment in here just to make sure that future me remembers what exactly did I choose to do here? What is this statement here for, and perhaps even why? So that, yeah, I don't remember things very well, but this can certainly help out with that. So now I'm going to go and give that a test. And that's not supposed to happen. That is not supposed to happen. So I'll go and take another look at my if statement. And from that, I can see I had made a mistake, that if this would prevent the player from being able to perform any inputs, which is precisely what I saw. Instead, I should remove that not there so that this does apply to the enemy, not the player. And now I'm going to test this again. And now we're getting the results that we're expecting to see here. So that is at least one problem solved. Now, on to the next problem. The enemies and player must stop their left and right movement when shooting or attacking. Alright, for that I believe I should find that in the physics process function. And seeing here, which the physics process is the most preferred place for handling any kind of, for leveraging Godot's physics engine. In this case, I'm using the kinematic body 2D. So for this, I'm adding in a comment so that future me remembers that, hey, this is what this is for. I'd rather have too many comments than not enough. Okay, so looking at this, I see that there's the AI section here, which has all of its physics, and this is how it's controlled. So I want to go and update this so that I can make sure that the AI does not move when it attacks. So for that, I have added in an if statement here to ensure that it does not perform an action when it does not perform an action when an action is currently in progress. Okay, there we go. And okay, and with this, when an action is being performed, the movement velocity will be made 0 during that period of time. Otherwise, if an action is not being performed, it'll continue to do its left and right movement as it had been before. With that, I'll see that the AI, and it's at this point that I recall that I cannot manipulate the AI anymore, or I cannot manipulate the enemy's attack anymore. So I'll just have to go and copy this and apply it to the player and verify that it does work there. Because these two, their if statements, their controls are the same. So if it works for the player, then it will work for the enemy. And the only reason I'm not, having them both use the same logic here is so that if I want to do something unique for the enemy, I can at least have already have it set aside, so I can. But if later on it turns out that they're just identical and just duplicate sets of code, I'll go and put them together. Alright, now to give it a test. And I see that the player does not move when I do an attack. Or start shooting. I'll go and try it again just to verify. Felt that test wasn't the best. Okay, and now I can see that no matter how much I move while attacking or shooting, I am not moving. So I can trust that this setup will also work for the enemy as well. And with that, I will have taken care of 2 of my bugs. And with a job well done, I'll go and jot down my lessons learned from today. That being to keep your comments up to date, because I did notice that some of my comments weren't exactly correct or up to date, especially in the case of that one of them referring to the enemy when it should have been referring to the player. So yeah, that it's good to keep your comments, double check them to make sure that they're still relevant, they're still correct. And the other thing is to pay close attention to the if statements and making sure that the logic statement for that is correct, because I used not on an if statement when I really shouldn't have. So those are my lessons learned for today, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.